Hello and good afternoon. This is Dave Edelstein talking to you for Better Than Before, here to talk about communicating and relating and getting along and being mindful and doing all of these things that contribute to your social wellness. Very often when we talk about wellness, we talk about physical things and being healthy and going to the gym and eating properly. But wellness includes the social side, and that's the area of wellness that I like to talk about. So here we are again talking about that. I'd like to particularly focus on the time in a relationship, one of the most stressful times in any relationship, and that is the time right after the birth of a newborn baby. Baby comes along, and in that 0 to 6 month period, the stresses on your relationship, the parents' relationship, are really quite brutal. Babies require a tremendous amount of work to manage properly. They wake up and make a lot of noise at all hours. It's exhausting. Very often, the burden of how exhausting this is falls much more on the mother, partly because of feeding issues, partly because of cultural issues. There are a number of things that go into this, but what I wanted to sort of work this around to was that there's a book by Dr. Gary Chapman. It's a very good book called The 5 Love Languages, and he talks about how people have different ways of experiencing love from their partner, and he lays out 5 ways that that's done. My thought about this is that, well, this is very true in general. During that 6-month newborn period, there is one love language that speaks much louder to everybody than any other, and that is the acts of service love language. Why? Because the baby has produced a tremendous amount of additional and exhausting and emotionally draining work. And the amount of work plus ordinary amounts of housework means that if both partners don't really do almost superhuman efforts of service to their home, to their relationship, to each other, things are going to really fly apart. Just keeping your home running with a newborn in it requires tremendous physical, mental, emotional, psychological, and whatever else effort that you can possibly imagine or think of. It's draining. But at this time, none of the other love languages will solve the love and caring and relating and connecting problem. To connect at this time in your child's life and in your relationship's life, there's only really one solution. Both partners have to roll up their sleeves, apply plenty of elbow grease, and work like crazy. This is in addition to whatever work anyone does outside of the house. Nobody gets a free ride for their 40-hour-a-week outside of the house because babies are a 24/7 job. So whatever amount of work you do to earn a living, sure, it's important and it should be counted as the total work picture for everybody. But 40 hours is a small fraction of the close to 200 hours of work that is required in the house. As I said, babies 24/7, 7 times 24, let's see, 168 hours, plus the roughly 30 to 40 hours of ordinary housework that goes into keeping a house running. It's easily 200 hours. So you're 40 hours outside the house. Let's say it's more than 40 hours. Most people do work more than 40 hours. There's commuting, there's other time involved, but let's say it's 50 hours. So that the total amount of work being done is 250 hours. The 50 hours is only 20% what needs to be done. I know this is bad news. Who wants to work 125 hours a week? What couple wants each partner working 125 hours a week? But babies are 24/7. And this is why at that particular juncture in relationship development, acts of service is almost the only love language that speaks. Everybody's got to dig in and dig ditches. It's heavy, heavy labor. It's a lot of work. Everybody's got to do their share. And it can be difficult. It can be difficult. Very often today, neither men or women are raised to do a lot of the scut work that goes into raising a baby in the early days. Speaking as a man of the past generation or passing generation or whatever I am, because I'm an old guy by now, I was not raised to be observant of what needed to be done to keep a house running. I was told to go to school and get high grades. That was my job. I did. I worked hard. I did that job. But I did not develop a good eye for, oh, yeah, it would be a good idea to pitch in and clean the bathroom now. I wasn't opposed to cleaning it. It just didn't really cross my mind. And I think that this situation has only gotten worse with time, that we're less and less aware of these things. Things sort of just happen or seem like they just happen. And then all of a sudden there's a baby and they don't just happen. Everybody's got to bear down and suffer a little. Your baby will bring you a lot of joy. Your baby will bring you a lot of joy. My children, when they were newborns, brought me enormous volcanoes of joy. But there's also a lot of work. So if you're a new parent, or if you're planning to be a new parent, or this is something that is going on in your relationship, or may go on, or has recently gone on, or is where you are, remember that if you want to build your relationship, it's always by choosing connection. And the way that you choose connection during this time in your child's life is acts of service. Serving your home, serving your relationship, serving your partner, serving your baby. It's about service. And it may not feel particularly rewarding in the moment, but this is the foundation of your future together. It really is. It will pay off. It will pay off. And it's the only thing that will. Neglecting this will also pay off, but in a really bad way. You don't want to see it. I've seen it. You don't want to see it. So, have a good evening. Remember to perform acts of service, whether or not you have a new baby at home. And I'll be talking about relating and communicating and getting along again tomorrow evening. Bye now. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, don't forget to like and share. It helps me out. Bye now.